Hey, so I just wanted to check in, let you guys know what's up, what I've been doing lately. And recently, I actually did find a job after being unemployed for, how long has it been now? Quit Uber at about the 10th of November. Started this job on the 2nd of Feb. So it's been 2 weeks doing this job, and basically 2.5 months, a little bit more than that, not having any work. Funds have been running low in that time. So what am I doing here on the French plantation? Well, funnily enough, I'm actually literally working in the plantation. And it makes me think of the cotton picking slaves from the 1800s, picking that cotton all day. That's pretty much it's similar to what I'm doing right now, except I'm cutting vines. I'm cutting vines in the vineyard, in the vineyard, vineyard, whichever way you prefer to say it. And how that works is, after harvest season, there's excess vines on the growing wires. I don't know what they call the structure, but they put a few poles in the ground, and it's probably 100-meter long row on average. A few poles in the ground connected by 5 layers of wires, and then the grapevines grow on that. And then after harvest season, there's a lot of dried out vines that we need to cut and prune. And I actually learned what the name is for a garden scissor, the type of scissor that they use for doing this work. It's called in French they call it le sécateur, and actually, funnily enough, in French it's also called a sécateur, but you can also call it pruning shears. So I learned some new terminology there. So I've been using my pruning shears to prune the vines. So you get rid of all the excess vines, and then you're left with only 2 vines from the original tree. In most cases, sometimes there's 1 or 2 extra, and they're usually the young vines, the fresh ones. So like Durian Rider's girlfriends, it's always the youngest and the freshest ones that you go for and you keep. So yeah, that's how the job is, and it's been intense, I'm not gonna lie. I almost gave up the other day. It was close to 0 degrees, it was a rainy motherfucker, and I was getting close to hypothermia. My breathing was starting to become ragged and uneven, and then I just started jogging in place to heat my body up so that I wouldn't get hypothermic. That's how I hang in there. I was fucking close to quitting, man. Fucking close. So I made it, and I just thought about, I used my ego as a tool actually. I thought about what the employer said. He said that recently he had a guy that quit after 10 days. So I thought to myself, fuck it. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to be that guy that quits after 10 days. I'm going to see it through till the fucking end. So yeah, I'm fighting to survive out here. Hasn't been easy, but it has I haven't been looking forward to this work every day. For me, it's not enjoyable, but funnily enough, it has been somewhat invigorating. I do feel like I'm living again, even though I hate it. It's a strange love-hate relationship that I have with work. I do think that most people are not working or doing the type of work that they actually want to be doing in life, myself included. I know what I should be doing on this planet, which is help contribute to ending human and animal slavery, but I do feel like a bit of an abject failure when it comes to that, and that's why you won't see me making so many videos about that. And you definitely won't see me in the streets doing street activism, because I just don't feel confident in having these debates with people. But then again, the only way to get better is to practice and to fail, and eventually in your practice you will succeed. But then again, It's also a little bit more difficult when you're on the French plantation, when your French is not that good and it's really a struggle for you to learn the language. But yeah, it hasn't all been negative. I mean, I'm just a real motherfucker. I'm not gonna pretend that my life is all positive and shit, because that's fake. That's that Instagram fake shit, and I'm not about that. I want to be real with my audience, with the people that I'm speaking to. So this work is only a 4-week contract, and it actually made me think about how I plan to live my life for the foreseeable future. And it's actually how I have lived my life in the last 3 years since starting work here in France. And that is the seasonal work lifestyle. I just cannot imagine myself working for 48 or 49 weeks out of the year and making that a lifestyle. That's just way too much fucking work. I mean, if you're doing something that's in alignment with your life purpose, then sure, you fucking work 7 days a week. But I'm not doing any kind of work that's in alignment with that. So I just do the least that I can to get by, and not have total soul sickness, because I know that's what I would experience if I worked the whole fucking year. It would just drain me too much. And I would definitely want to rope. You know, I think it's the Red Bull community, they have this expression called cope or rope. So I'd rather just tone it down a little bit so I can cope instead of roping. A final thing that I wanted to add is I only eat 2 meals a day now on working days, because I couldn't be fucked spending the extra time in the morning to make myself a lunch that's going to be cold and it's going to not have a nice texture. So I just say fuck it, I'm skipping lunch. So I just have a big breakfast and a big dinner, and that's how I roll. And surprisingly enough, it makes me eat less calories in a day, and as a result I'm getting lean effortlessly. Well, not effortlessly because I'm working all day, but you know what I mean. I don't have to worry about overeating and becoming a fatty vegan patty. So that's another benefit of working full time. And these are pretty long days. I leave in the morning at 7:15, and then I come back close to 6 o'clock in the evening. So it's almost 11 hours that I'm out there. We get a 1-hour lunch break, and then it's back to the grindstone. And we get small breaks when we move from row to row, sometimes 2-3 minutes, and that's it. The working days are about 7 hours 45 minutes. And then on the Friday, which I actually found to be a nice surprise, we only work a half day, so a 4-hour shift. And yeah, that's quite interesting. In France, the work week is 35 hours instead of the traditional 40-hour work week. So it's not as long, but with these 11-hour days, or close to 11-hour days, it still feels fucking long. Because it's just not the same when you rest out there versus rest and recover at home. It still feels like you're working even when you're resting at your workplace. I'd just like to end off this video with something important that I posted on Instagram the other day, and that is, if private banks didn't devalue our money and governments didn't steal half of it, then we would be able to live our current lifestyles with only 1/10 of the work that we currently put in. And also, that is only the beginning, for Earth is so abundant in its resources that to ration them with a monetary system is insane at best.